Hey, what's up everyone? Back with another Elliott Wave analysis for Bitcoin. If you guys are wanting more of these Bitcoin video updates, just a friendly reminder to make sure to hit that like button and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, so that I know everyone is interested in these videos. It really does help. So getting right into the Bitcoin analysis, we are getting that pullback as expected from our previous video. We were looking for this kind of ABC type pullback that we're going to be looking for in the fashion of a three wave. For those that are not versed in the Elliott Wave Theory, we're looking for a 5-3-5, which is 5 waves in the first wave A, 3 waves into the wave B, and then the 5-wave move into the wave C. This is the entire correction that we're looking for, and we're going to be looking for another move to the upside. So we're looking for either this to be a wave 3 that's still being continuously being played out, or we're looking for this wave 3 already completed. So all we have to do is shift the ABC into this wave 3, and then we say that the top has already been in, and then we're working for that sub wave 4, and then we just shift everything in, and that wave 1, 2 of the primary degree is just going to be playing at an earlier stage. So just right now, it really doesn't matter, because the fact that we don't know exactly how this next move is playing out, this move could be seen as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the upside for a wave A. We'll go into the shorter time frames in just a moment, but again, we can alternatively see this as a 5-3-5 as well. So this could be leading us into that third subwave if we're going to be shifting it here. So right now we just have it as this. We're still working in that subwave 3. Really doesn't matter. And alternatively, I like this idea too, because it could still also be an ending diagonal that's going to be bearish as well. That could be the 3 wave that we're looking for to the upside, where we break this previous high, and then we have that wave 4 and then the 5, and then we'll technically have an ending diagonal as well. So this idea is also coming into play and coming into fruition very nicely. We're just waiting for this 3-wave pullback to happen, and we're going to be looking for how this 3-wave move pullback is going to be playing out and how deep it's going to go. But this demand zone technically and theoretically should be a demand zone where we're going to be looking for another bounce to the upside. So that's the current diagonal scenario. And then we have another idea, which is the 1-2-1-2 idea, which is working in the same fashion, just in a different way. It's just more impulsive, where this wave 1-2 is now complete entirely, where there's primary degree of this wave 1-2 in the yellow circle. Instead of this diagonal where we have the wave 1-2 come at a later stage, it is now entirely terminated, meaning that this move here is now seen as the range and the internal structure as a flat move as a wave 2. So really nice looking structure here as well. Just kind of a lot of subjectivity around this kind of specific idea, especially with 1-2-1-2 ideas. A lot of people don't like to see these 1-2-1-2 ideas until they actually happen. But again, it's not too bad to actually kind of assume. In fact, if we really go back to the Elliott Wave literature, a lot of the literature does state that, you know, having 1-2-1-2 structures is what you should be assuming before you actually start thinking, and you should be taking into practice that wave 3 extensions are going to be next. So this idea kind of fits into that narrative, and again, utilizing that same 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the upside, this wave 1-2, just like we have that hybrid move for that wave A, B of that diagonal, we're looking for that wave ABC as well, back into that demand zone, just as likely as the other scenario. So this ABC pullback, we're going to get back into that demand zone, and then that wave 3 should follow suit. And if that's very bullish and we break out of that diagonal, and that is going to be extremely bullish, and that is the only way we're going to be seeing this as a possible impulsive move. So we got a lot of obstacles for this specific scenario. Now that we have a previous high here, high here, high here, high here, we got to be creating really another higher low in kind of balance in terms of how we're going to be going against the bears, because they're seeing this as bearish rejections. So the bulls, similarly, once we get this support in, the bulls are going to be seeing these as higher lows rather, and that's going to be kind of the balance between, and a Mexican standoff between the bulls and bears. So this wave 3 is going to be coming in next. After this wave 3, if we do break these highs, especially the all-time high, then we can really assume that this is going to be really bullish, where we're going to be going up to that 3, 4, 5 of the primary degree in the yellow. And that'll be even more quicker than what we have anticipated. That is going to be the bullish scenario we're working in this current wave 3 extension. A little bit too early to call for, but that is what it is. This is the scenario that is going to be the alternative outlook. Now, the other idea is going to be the bearish idea. Now, the bearish idea does have a lot of merit in the sense that we may be working in a 3-wave still, but we have to take into account that this move here is a rare pattern in itself, which is the leading expanding diagonal. Usually when you have expanding diagonals, they're quite rare for a wave 1-2 until the wave 1-2s actually play out. That's after the diagonal that has played out. So it's usually in hindsight that they get confirmed. But right now, since we are able to identify one, this move here can just similarly part of utilizing that diagonal idea, we're just working with threes here, that this move here is just considered the three-wave move in itself, and this wave 2 is going to be the finished move here, and then we'll be working towards really low levels. I don't think we'll even be supported at these levels if that even happens. So this is something to definitely keep in mind. But the other bearish scenario that I did discuss in the previous video is that we can really take into account for two types of diagonals, which is that leading diagonal if we don't break that previous high, but this could turn into just as similar as the other scenario as a ending diagonal if this turns into a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is going to be an overlapping structure rather from that leading diagonal. If that fifth wave or that fifth subwave of this diagonal breaks above this previous high and it's still working correctively, that's going to give us a signal that this is going to be a possible rejection zone where we just come back up for one more high, breaking the all-time highs, getting all that liquidity in, and then we're going to go for that massive rejection. And I am absolutely ready for that scenario if in case that does happen, because previously, if we're going to learn a thing or two from the previous bear market, is that if we go back all the way down to the previous bear market, this is similar to what we had here, and that led us to the bear market of 2020 all the way up in 2023. So we got that previous break above this high, and we got a fake out rejection here, and in this small immediate zone, we had a previous high again, and that is what led to the whole downturn all the way down to the 15K levels. Is that going to be the same thing here, where we get the ending diagonal possibility, or even a possible short 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that could technically still be completed if that impulse happens? Just really depends on how this internal structures are going to be playing out. As long as we create a technical high above these levels and the bearish kind of sentiment starts to pull in, then we can also recall for the possibility earlier that this bear market is going to be happening. So don't get too worried. A bear market is just a larger ABC or a three-wave or a complex structure pullback. There's always going to be opportunities in terms of how we're going to be looking at it. But again, right now, what we're looking for is going to be either of those scenarios where we're working in a very bullish scenario or a very bearish scenario. But right now, my bet is on the bullish scenarios because we do have two scenarios. We have pretty much exhausted a few bearish scenarios that leads us to giving us a higher probability that either the very bullish idea where we're working in an impulse to the upside is going to happen, or the diagonal idea where we're still working correctly to the upside, eventually creating that primary wave 1, get that pullback, and then we're out of here. And again, this diagonal could be really still be in play for that wave 3, or we can terminally see this as a win to ABC already completed for this wave 3, and then we get that pullback, and that's going to be the same 3 type wave pullback that we're looking for. Get that 4, 5. All we have to do is just adjust this. This wave 4 is going to be playing out right now, and then this 5th wave is going to be completed, and that will be, ladies and gentlemen, the actual 1-2 pullback that we're going to be looking for eventually. That's going to be playing out for this ABC of a larger intermediate degree. So if you can see here, we can see we're going to be looking for this 5th wave to conclude. Boom, 5 waves into a wave A, B, and then 5 waves into C, 1, 2. This will be the larger 3 that we're going to be looking for. That's the most profitable wave. Other than that, there's really not much to update other than the possibility of the shorter time frames. I am going to share those shorter time frames in the Patreon or the Discord membership. This is just a quick update in terms of what we are going to be expecting on the shorter time frames. Hopefully that was helpful. Please make sure to like the video. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel again. It does really help. And if you're not following me on social media on X at XForceGlobal, please do give me a follow. We have a lot of engagement on there as well. And I do share a lot of my daily thoughts and sentiment on there as well. So thank you very much. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.